left and right.
Sorry.
All right. It's 5 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Carol Sue.
Jeremy Ashcraft.
I am here.
Bob Bishop.
Here.
Joe Buck.
Here.
Gary Fox.
Here.
Charlie Hastings.
Here.
Chuck Liddell.
Here.
Teresa Popejoy. Present.
Okay. Now consider approval of the minutes.
Your Honor, make a motion to approve the minutes from the January 2nd
Second.
council as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. We'll call for a vote. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Bob Bishop.
Word of words.
Yes.
Joe Buck.
Yes.
Gary Fox.
Yes.
Charlie Hastings.
Yes.
Chuck Liddell.
Yes.
Teresa Popejoy. Yes. Jeremy Ashcraft.
Yes.
Comments of the mayor. I'm going to skip the comments tonight. We have another presentation that's coming up. Petitions or comments of citizens. I see we have Mercedes Brew, and she would like to, Mike Berkshire would like to come first.
Just one quick question. Mike Berkshire, 528 Main Street. Just a quick note. I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I've noticed there's no extra agendas or ordinances on the back table. Is this a change in policy, or is this just an oversight?
It's probably just an oversight, Mike. I apologize.
Because I like to follow the program, as you know.
No problem. Let me pass some that way.
How would you like it if we
Thank
put
you.
it?
On the back of the table.
That's okay. I just, so you won't forget next time, will you?
I won't.
Thank you. Thank you.
How would you like it if we put it up on the screen, Mike?
My office doesn't work.
Okay.
So you'd rather have paper?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Any more comments of citizens or petitions? Mark Strong. No.
He's passing out the paper.
All right. Mercedes. Thank you. Hello.
I'm Mercedes.
Hi.
Mercedes, do you think you could perhaps get a little closer to the microphone? I think there's some cable there.
Yeah.
There you go.
How's that? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mercedes Brew, 1315 East Market Street. Okay, here we are in Logansport, and there's a much larger plan. Of course, there's a statewide plan. Governor Daniels of his Green Moves initiative has a statewide trails plan, and we worked real hard, especially Aaron, but also Jan and I worked very hard to get Logansport on the state trails plan. And as it goes through Logansport, the state trails plan is on the north side of the Wabash River. And I think that was instrumental in us getting money for this section. Of course, the more plans you're on, the better you look when you're looking for that grant money. And there's more to the city trails plan as well. There's a safe routes to school effort over here. And there's a connector here to connect Wabash to the Eel as well. But anyway, I just wanted to focus on what we have done, what we have funded, and what's hopefully next. So, starting with what we have done, of course, I want to start with Little Turtle Waterway. We started with the gateway, and then we built the trail down almost to the confluence, and then with the McTaggart Foundation, we got all the way to the confluence of the First. And then this last year, we dedicated this section of trail from Berkeley Street to 12th Street. And also this last year, we saw the opening of the 4th Street corridor, which Area 5 took the initiative on that. And also we have the River Bluff Trail here and the Herbie Preserve. So those are solid lines because those are finished. And the dotted lines are Herbie Preserve is partially funded now, right?
That's Houston Park.
Houston Park, yes, partially funded. And then we have Eel River Run, which originally we were going to go from here all the way up to there, but we didn't have enough money, so now we're going from the north end of 3rd Street to the base of the bridge, future bridge at Brinkley Park. And we're going to be breaking ground on that tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. And the reason that we were able to get this funding was because of this bridge. Milt Cole committed $800,000 to build that bridge, and we were able to use that pledge as a match for not only his bridge, but for this section of trail, which is why I haven't been to you guys for a long time to ask for money.
Good.
Which works for all of us. Okay. And this section, whenever I'm on this part of the trail, people say, when are you going to 18th Street? When are we going to be able to walk to Ivy Tech? Well, we've been working on this section of trail for at least 12 years, probably 16 years. It can happen, but it depends on if we want it to happen, and that will be up to your new mayor. So we'll see how he thinks about that. I just want to show you some pictures here. We're very proud of how we've developed Little Turtle Waterway. This is one of the medallions on the gateway, and this is the map of Indiana or the Miami homeland in Indiana as it was in 1812. In 1810, Little Turtle died in 1812, and so all these. This is the signature that he put on the Treaty of Greenville. Anthony Wayne asked him, well, where is your home? And he said, my father's kindled the first fire in Detroit, and he described basically the Wabash River Valley. And all these icons are the tribes that were there. Some of these tribes, you'll remember from your grade school studies of the 13 colonies, and by 1810, they were pushed in front of the white invasion into the Miami homeland, and they were there at the invitation of the Miamis. So after the War of 1812, the map of Indiana looked quite different. So anyway, all 4 medallions were done by a Miami elder, and they all have their stories, and they are all in a book that we are just coming out with our 2nd edition of the book. So all those stories are explained in the book. And in the plaza pavement, we have 32 insets with have to do with Logansport history. This, of course, is the railroad history, and each one has its own story in the book. And our group is a group of volunteers, of course, but we don't put on any events. We leave that to other people, and we're proud of all the events that other people bestir themselves to have at the project. Now I'm going to show you some things from this part of the trail. Oops. This was a project that we did with Dave Wegner's people from the prison and some donated stone from Home Depot. This was a Boy Scout project. And one of the ways that we manage the grasses along the trail is we burn every once in a while, just like the Native Americans did. Because the grasses have very deep roots and the woody plants don't. So the woody plants die and the grasses survive. Here we are at the new trail. This, of course, these stones were salvaged from a building that burned at 10th and Market. And there's also a bench at 12th Street made out of those stones. Another view of the trail. We like to hug the river. And there's just a sign to let you know where you are at the end of the trail. It's hard to tell when you're in the woods and the leaves are up. So I just want to show you two more illustrations from the for the Eel River Run Trail. And my program won't work right, so I'm going to move this over. We're going to have a sculpture at the north end of 4th Street. This is called Stonewall Park. This land right here at the north end of 4th Street, the parking lot, was city land. It's probably it is still city land, but then on this side was county land, and they donated that for the project. And right at the north end of 4th Street, we're going to have a sculpture, and this will be about 12 feet high. This is the first sketch. We've talked about keeping people off of it, and it's going to change a little bit. But anyway, this is the first sketch of how it will look. And then, one more thing. This is our new logo for the Eel River Run Trail. And there's the eel. So that's about all I wanted to tell you tonight. The Eel River Run altogether represents $1.2 million in federal funds we have been able to bring to Logansport. And we put out a newsletter, so I'll cover that for you.
Thanks, Mercedes.
Do you have any questions for me today?
I'd just like to say I'd like to see some more people on the trails. I run the trails, Little Turtle, the River Bluff Trail, and sometimes I don't see a lot of people. I feel somewhat the Lone Ranger out there sometimes, but they are very nice trails,
When I see Charlie on the trail, I usually jump behind a tree because he kind of scares me. So.
Yeah.
When I see Charlie down at the park, I try not to climb over.
I appreciate that.
Mercedes, thanks for all that you do. It's the passion and the effort that you put in it is greatly appreciated by us and by many members of the community. Keep it up.
Thank you.
I second
Thanks,
that.
Mercedes.
Thank you for providing this for our children and our grandchildren.
Okay, reports from committees, boards, or commissions.
Mayor Franklin, the Finance Committee met prior to this meeting tonight, and I would like to request that ordinance 2012-5 be added to tonight's agenda
Second.
as a result of that meeting.
Do you have a copy of 2012-5? You have. Thank you. Was that in the form of a motion?
Yes.
Yeah, and I seconded.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the second. Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Have a roll call to place ordinance 2012-05 on the agenda.
Jeremy Ashcraft?
Yes.
Bob Bishop?
Yes.
Joe Buck?
Yes.
Gary Fox?
Yes.
Charlie Hastings?
Yes.
Chuck Liddell?
Yes.
Teresa Popejoy?
Yes.
Okay. Any more reports?
Economic Development and Planning met last week in committee and selected Paul Hartman and Lynn Ness as its 2 additional Plan Commission appointees. So would you like me to make a motion now to insert those names, or when we read those resolutions?
I think we'll do it when we do the resolution.
Fine.
Okay. Okay. Under old business, second reading of ordinance 2012-1, Councilman Bishop.
An ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, rescinding ordinance 2011-41 in its entirety.
Call for a vote.
Your Honor, I call for a vote.
Jeremy Ashcraft?
No.
Bob Bishop?
Yes.
Joe Buck?
Yes.
Gary Fox?
Yes.
Charlie Hastings?
Yes.
Chuck Liddell?
No.
Teresa Popejoy?
No.
Ordinance 2012-1 passes on a reading of 4-3. Under new business, 2012-6, a resolution to appoint a member of the Logansport Plan Commission. Councilman Hastings.
This is Resolution 2012-6, a Logansport Common Council resolution to appoint a member to the Logansport Plan Commission. Your Honor, I call for a vote on Resolution 2012-06.
Make a motion to insert Paul Hartman's name under Section 1.
Second.
Okay. Who seconded that?
I did.
Charlie Hastings seconded. Okay, this is going to be a vote on submitting the name, or the name that was submitted. We'll call for the vote.
Bob Bishop?
Yes.
Joe Buck?
Yes.
Gary Fox?
Yes.
Charlie Hastings?
Yes.
Chuck Liddell?
Yes.
Teresa Popejoy?
Yes.
And Jeremy Ashcraft?
Yes.
Okay, now we'll vote on Resolution 1206 in its entirety. Any discussion? Call for the question.
Joe Buck? Gary Fox? Charlie Hastings?
Hold. They have to answer first. Okay, we're back to Resolution 2012-6, and we're gonna.
This is gonna be fast. Joe Buck?
Yes.
Gary Fox?
Yes.
Charlie Hastings?
Yes.
Chuck Liddell?
Yes.
Teresa Popejoy?
Yes.
Jeremy Ashcraft?
Yes.
Bob Bishop?
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 1206 passes on a unanimous vote, 7-0. Resolution 2012-7, Councilperson Popejoy, please.
Resolution 2012-7, resolution of the Common Council to appoint a member to the Logansport Plan Commission. Your Honor, I would request that this resolution be approved.
Second.
Your Honor, I make a motion that we insert the name Lynn Ness under Section 1.
Second.
Okay. First, we will vote on the name that was submitted, and at this point, we'll call for a question on the name.
Gary Fox?
Yes.
Charlie Hastings?
Yes.
Chuck Liddell?
Yes.
Teresa Popejoy?
Yes.
Jeremy Ashcraft?
Yes.
Bob Bishop?
Yes.
Joe Buck?
Yes.
Okay. And now we will have a vote on Resolution 12-7 in its entirety.
Charlie Hastings?
Yes.
Chuck Liddell?
Yes.
Teresa Popejoy?
Yes.
Jeremy Ashcraft?
Yes.
Bob Bishop,
Yes.
Joe Buck,
Yes.
and Gary Fox.
Yes.
Ordinance 2012-2, Councilman Buck.
Ordinance 2012-2, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, establishing the Transportation Enhancements Eel River Run Bridge Fund.
Any discussion on 12-2? Entertain a motion.
I motion.
You move? Okay.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We'll call for a vote on ordinance 12-2.
Chuck Liddell,
Yes.
Teresa Popejoy,
Yes.
Jeremy Ashcraft,
Yes.
Bob Bishop,
Yes.
Joe Buck,
Yes.
Gary Fox,
Yes.
Charlie Hastings.
Yes.
Ordinance 12-2 passes on a vote of 7-0 in favor. Ordinance 2012-3, Councilman Ashcraft.
An ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, establishing the Transportation Enhancements Eel River Run Trail Fund. Your Honor, I call for a vote on ordinance 2012-03.
Second.
Any discussion? It's been moved and properly seconded. We'll call for the vote on ordinance 2012-3.
Chuck Liddell,
Yes.
Teresa Popejoy,
Yes.
Jeremy Ashcraft,
Yes.
Bob Bishop,
Yes.
Joe Buck,
Yes.
Gary Fox,
Yes.
Charlie Hastings.
Yes.
2012-3 passes on unanimously on a vote of 7-0. Ordinance 2012-4, that will be Councilman Fox, please.
Ordinance 2012-4, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, to establish the second Land and Water Conservation Grant Fund. I motion for ordinance 2012-4.
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on ordinance 2012-4? We'll call for the vote.
Jeremy Ashcraft,
Yes.
Bob Bishop,
Yes.
Joe Buck,
Yes.
Gary Fox,
Yes.
Charlie Hastings,
Yes.
Chuck Liddell,
Yes.
Teresa Popejoy.
Yes.
Ordinance 2012-4 passes unanimously. Ordinance 2012-5, Councilman Liddell.
Ordinance 2012-5, a resolution, now ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, approving the expenditure of the motor vehicle highway funds to the Indiana Public Retirement System. Your Honor, I call for a vote, first reading on ordinance 2012-5.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, Your Honor, I would, now that council is present, I would like to hear Randy's interpretation of what we found out there.
Sure. This ordinance 2012-5 deals with an employee who's been an employee for the city of Logansport for, I believe, 7 years. When he first began, he requested that he not be made to be a member of the Public Employees Retirement Fund. That fund requires the employee to contribute an amount toward the retirement fund and requires the city to contribute a greater amount for each and every city employee. My understanding is that at that time, the city said, that's great. If you don't want to contribute, we don't have to contribute either. Everybody wins. And no one has to spend money they don't want to spend. And so this person has been an employee of the city and has worked and has not been made to contribute, nor has the city contributed to PERF on his behalf. We have discovered that contributions to PERF and membership in PERF for city employees is not optional. That is, everyone must contribute to PERF, and the city must contribute to PERF on their behalf, whether they wish to be a member or not. They don't have a choice. And the city hasn't done that, and the employee hasn't done that. So what ordinance 2012-5 does is it pays the money into PERF on behalf of the city that the city would otherwise have had to pay anyhow. It doesn't require any more for us than if we had been paying all along. And it appears from the drafting of the ordinance that the author of the ordinance has decided that as a matter of policy, since the city told this person they didn't have to contribute and didn't enforce the rule, that the city will make the contributions on behalf of the employee from that time till now.
No, that's not correct.
No? All right.
That's one option. The other option is he pays his share.
Okay. Yeah, the copy I have before me is the option that the city pays. The other option is that the city could have the...
I think you have the wrong one.
Okay. The other option is that the city would have the employee pay their share And we could pay it for him now and have him reimburse us over time. And that's a policy decision for the council to make, whether the city pays his share or whether he pays his share.
Any more
Yeah, so, I understand that the details are still not worked out. I just want to make sure that he has the amount of time to contribute what he was liable for, not liable for, now responsible for again, but the time frame matches that time. I would hate to see anybody have to come up with $5,000 in 6 months. So
No.
would he be given the 80 months?
No. It's going to be somewhere between no time and probably 3 years when he's vested is what we're looking at.
Okay, so they'll, all right,
Yeah. We're working with him, Chuck, and he's going to get back with us later in the week.
okay.
Any more discussion?
And that should be finalized before the second reading.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Randy.
Any further discussion on 2012-5? We'll call for a vote on ordinance 12-5.
I guess we should make clear which one it says. Which one we're talking about.
Would you like to read it in its entirety?
Well, no, I
No,
just
no.
want to make sure that we make clear which one we're voting on here, since there were two prepared. With the same number on them.
Okay.
So how do we stipulate that?
At vote by the finance committee, the recommendation was that the city pay their portion and the employee pay his portion back to the city.
That's the one I have.
And that's the ordinance that
Yeah, that's the one that was
we
distributed
brought
here.
before the council.
And up front, the city will pay the entire
Up front,
portion.
the city will pay the entire amount, but the
Right.
employee will reimburse the city for the employee's portion.
Okay. Okay.
Call for
This-
question.
It'll be this one. Okay. Call for question.
Joe Buck,
Yes,
Who was the second? Who was the second?
I'll second.
Okay, Chuck, I think you...
I made a
Okay.
motion, yeah.
And then
Second.
Joe Buck was the second. Okay, now we'll call for the question.
Charlie Hastings,
Yes.
Chuck Liddell,
Yes.
Teresa Popejoy,
Yes.
Jeremy Ashcraft.
Yes.
Bob Bishop,
Yes.
Joe Buck,
Yes.
Gary Fox,
Yes.
Did we miss anybody? Okay, that's it. Okay. Any miscellaneous business, including any matters not already considered? Anybody? Okay. Mr. Buck, I'd call for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We're adjourned.